Hi guys, I decided to make a video here to give you some inspiration to be more creative. I'd like to kick off with some quotes from Daniel Avery. He's one of my favourite producers because he simply makes such a diverse range of music that all gravitates towards the dance floor. His blend of techno and ambient music mesmerises and lifts you with elements of breakbeat and rave in the mix. So what inspires Daniel, and where does all that creativity come from? And how can we carve our own path from this knowledge? In an interview, Daniel says something quite interesting. He says everything in life is affecting your head, which means the moment we start making music, our instinct takes over. He says the least productive sessions are those where you try and make something similar to an existing track. The moment you let go of this is when ideas emerge. From my experience, I'd say this is very true, which is why I'm trying to build a family of analog synths and drum machines so I can get a drum groove going quickly and not spend an hour loading samples into my computer. I love the precision work you can do in the computer, but nothing kills creativity quicker than a long process to get started. Daniel goes on to say, music finds you. You need to open up your mind to all creative thoughts from outside your immediate world. Surround yourself with art and people you find inspiring. The moment the creativity does come, it will feel like the opposite of a struggle. This really resonated with me, as I've found sometimes you can try too hard to come up with new ideas or forensically try and emulate a sound or a track. I think sometimes if you go off for a walk or visit another country and you come back down to sit with your gear and just start playing with sounds, new ideas come instantly. I'd say this is probably true of other forms of art. Take a break, do something completely different and come back to it. I would also add here scheduling in times for making tracks and times for experimentation. Sure, as producers we need to keep building a body of work, but we also need times to just splash a load of paint on the canvas, so to speak. In other words, play with that synth that you're most familiar with and come up with some odd sounds. This session is just about allowing yourself a bit of time out to make some sounds in a non-judgmental way. So the other side of being creative is what happens when you don't feel inspired or creative at all. We all have days like this, I'm sure. I like to quote my favourite guitarist here, Mr. Jack White. In an interview on Vimeo, he states, "Inspiration and work ethic ride right next to each other." He states that sometimes you just get in the studio and have to force yourself to work. He went on to say that having the illusion you have endless time is a sure way to kill creativity. So he will book less time in the studio on purpose with a deadline to finish. I'll put a link in the description to this video. Going back to electronic music, I'd say the Chemical Brothers are a classic example of creativity. Both musically and visually, they deliver the goods. Bigger than life visuals and pumping loud music. So in conclusion, I'd say try not to echo the current trends of music or art, simply learn the techniques and process of creating those tracks, but sit down sometimes, throw the rule book out the window and just jam.